What's up, movie crew? Welcome to a very large haul video. Before I get started, if you are new to this channel, my name is Luke, this is Let's Watch a Movie, and if you're in anything cinema and physical media related, you've come to the right place, so hit that subscribe button. Alright, for those that are regular subscribers to the channel, you may have noticed there was a little bit of a gap between videos before I posted what I called the Forgotten Haul, and then I did my final Best Buy haul. So between me recording that Forgotten Haul video and the Best Buy stuff, there's been a lot of stuff that I've bought during the time frame that I wasn't making videos. So I'm going to have timestamps down below for anyone that wants to check out specific portions of this video. The first part's going to be miscellaneous stuff. The second part will be DC stuff. And then the last part will be Looney Tunes stuff. Hence the reason I'm wearing the Looney Tunes shirt. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, in my area there is a local bookstore that has used movies for a fairly cheap price, and I was able to get my hands on Ghost Stories. This movie has Martin Freeman in it. It is an IFC Midnight title. I wanted to pick this one up because IFC Midnight no longer releases their stuff with Shout Factory and Scream Factory, so I don't know if this one's still in print or not. If anyone wants to fact check me down below, feel free to do so. But I do know IFC Midnight's now partnered up with RLJ Media. So this may or may not be in print. And if it is in print, you might want to get it while you can, because it might not be in print much longer. As far as the movie goes, I am hoping to watch it this weekend. Another movie I picked up, and I'm surprised that I don't have this movie, or didn't have this movie prior, because I remember seeing it in theaters. I enjoyed it. I'm a fan of Denzel Washington. But I did not have The Book of Eli. Sorry, I'm noticing it's a little... There we go. So I picked this one up. It was either $3 or $4. Love the movie. So of course, I had to pick that one up. Alright, the next one I got at Family Dollar. I don't know if all Family Dollars are doing this, but if they are, you might want to check your closest Family Dollar. They have all DVDs and Blu-rays 50% off. So I was able to get this for $2.50. It might be a DVD, and yes, I own 2 of the 4 movies in here on Blu-ray, but there's 2 I didn't own, and I'm only paying $2.50 for a 4 movie set. And that is the Dark Obsessions collection. This has The Boy Next Door and Fear, which I already own, but it also has Curve and Endless Love, Curve being a Blumhouse movie, and we like Blumhouse around here. So I want to go ahead and pick this up for the 2 movies I don't have, because it was still the cheapest way to get these 2 movies. Alright, so the next thing I got at Big Lots. And I just want to clear up now, for anyone that doesn't go to Big Lots for movies, you might want to check them out from time to time. Part of the reason is what I'm about to show you. I got for a very cheap price, given what it is, but also, whenever they do charity things where they'll ask you to donate like $1 or $5, as a thank you, they give you a coupon for $5 off a $15 purchase or $10 off a $40 purchase. And even if you're not interested in getting the movies they have over there, I know I'm not the only person snacking on stuff while I'm at home watching movies, and they've got some of the best snack selections out there. But back to the movies. I managed to get this for $8, and that is the Argo Declassified Edition that has the extended cut and a crap ton of goodies with it. I actually got this cheaper than the 4K cut that I have. That's right. This version I got for $8. I spent more money on the 4K release than I did with this. And rounding out the miscellaneous section, everything right here all came from Barnes & Noble. Yes, I said Barnes & Noble because the first thing I'm going to show was originally a Best Buy exclusive. I got it at Barnes & Noble. I'm sure I've got the receipt somewhere. And that is the Scream 6 Steelbook. Being a member, once you spend a certain amount of money, you get $5 off. This was on sale. I got it for right at $30. So now I have 5 of the 6 movies on Steelbook. And it's kind of nice being able to say I have most of them on Steelbook. And yeah, it does kind of suck that we don't know what we're getting with Scream 7. The next one, I'm going to have a link to a previous video down below because I talked about this one in one of the previous videos. And that is Star Trek Prodigy Season 1, Volume 2. For those that are unaware, Paramount's been trying to push a lot more Star Trek stuff, and they wanted to have something for the younger audience. So they had something that aired on both Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon. Well, ratings weren't so great for when it was airing on Nickelodeon. Not only did Paramount cancel the show, they pulled it from Paramount Plus. For those that are wondering, Season 2 is airing or will be airing on Netflix. But for anyone that wants to know why I collect physical media, there will be a video link down below for one of those where I specifically talk Star Trek Prodigy. And finally, in the miscellaneous section, again from Barnes & Noble, the month of January, they had a sale on their Arrow video titles. And I went on ahead and grabbed this one because it was cheap. And shockingly enough, I'd never seen this movie. So I thought I'd go on ahead and pick it up. That being The Warriors. And for anyone wondering, I picked up the Blu-ray set because when I went over there, they only had 2 copies of the Blu-ray set left, not the 4K. Personal thoughts on the movie. It's a good movie, but it was definitely a product of its time. And to anyone like myself that is a John Wick fan and you've never seen this, give it a watch because you can definitely tell from watching this that this movie had an influence on the John Wick movies. That is everything in the miscellaneous section. So now we are going to get into the DC collection, or section of the haul. Alright, continuing with Barnes & Noble. They had, my local Barnes & Noble at least had a section where they had a bunch of movies that were 50% off and some TV shows. And this one I hadn't picked up yet because it's a little pricey and I don't remember the show that well from when I was younger. But they had it on sale now, so I went on ahead and picked it up. That being Crypto the Superdog. I also want to point out, before I get into any other ones, I have one DVD coming in the mail, so expect a future DC animated show collection video once that DVD arrives. But this was 50% off, so I went on ahead and picked it up. It's got all 39 episodes, and after watching it, it's actually not a bad show. And whoever voices Ace the Bat Hound, I feel like they definitely got some influence from the legend himself, Kevin Conroy. Alright, so the next one I got off of Amazon. Actually, the next two I got from Amazon. Both of these were on sale, neither of which I had in my collection. So the first one is Legion of Superheroes. So I grabbed it because it was cheap. I did not watch this one when I was younger because I grew up watching the DCAU, which is Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, Stack. This one connected, so I didn't care when I was younger. I've got to say, having watched it now, there's actually some pretty good episodes on here. So if you're a DC fan like myself and you've never checked this out, I'd recommend checking it out. I either paid $14 or $17 for the complete series on Blu-ray, and to those that don't have a Blu-ray player, there is a DVD option. Also off of Amazon, I got Sweet Tooth Season 1. I will still pick up Season 2 when it comes out. Season 3, I've heard, is supposed to debut on Netflix later this year. Season 3 is the final season, for anyone wondering why. The original comic only ran for, I think it was 40 issues. Personally, I like the comic. I thought it was pretty good. It felt unique. I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of the show. To me personally, the first 4 episodes just feel like straight up exposition. Keep in mind, I have not watched the remaining 4 episodes of Season 1 yet. My opinion might change once I'm done watching Season 1. The next thing I picked up off of eBay, and I have no idea how I managed to get this for the price that I got it for, because it's out of print. If I remember correctly, the company that actually released the series and the DVD are no longer an existing company. So I'm a little surprised I was able to get this for a cheap price, because I remember seeing this thing go for almost $100 before. And I got it for $25, I think, which is still a little pricey for this, but it is what it is. Swamp Thing, the animated series. After the success of the first movie, there was a live action show going on in the early 90s, and when there's stuff like that, back in the 90s, it was automatically assumed it would get an animated show. So Deke released a Swamp Thing animated series. It only ended up going 5 episodes. So the first 3 actually aired when they were supposed to air. They didn't do well. They got canceled. So the last 2 episodes are considered bonus features on here. Given that at that time, Swamp Thing was more of a mature comic, like now that he's been integrated into the overall DC universe, it's been toned down a little bit. But it is a little weird when you get something that was kind of darker for its time, and then you get this. But it is what it is. The animated series is definitely a product of the early 90s. You can just tell from looking at it. You can tell they were trying to take influences from everything possible. So it had stuff that was clearly taken from both movies. It had some stuff that was clearly from the live action show, and it had some stuff that was from the comics. Alright, this next thing I got off of eBay because I was looking for one of the animated shows, and this was actually the cheapest one because I didn't realize it was out of print. And that is the Best of Superman TV Collection. This thing has 30 discs on it. It features Smallville Season 1, both Superman serials from the late 40s and 50s, Season 1 of Superman the Animated Series, Season 1 of Lois and Clark, Season 1 of the 60s Animated Series, Season 1 of... No, hold on. The Fleischer cartoons, the George Reeves Superman show, the 1980s Superman cartoon, and Superman Doomsday. Yes, I have no idea why Doomsday is in there, but it is, even though it's not a TV show. There is everything on here for anyone that wants to look at this. I don't know if this box set's still available, but the 80s Superman cartoon is out of print, and this was the cheapest way to get it. And by getting this, I was able to add a couple other things in my collection that I did not previously own. Alright, these next two things I got from Target. First one, I thought I'd shown this off, but when I looked at some of my previous haul videos, I didn't see it in there, so either I overlooked it or I haven't shown it off. That being Blue Beetle. And this is the Target exclusive with the art cards. For anyone who has not seen this, the rumors I've been hearing is that Blue Beetle will be connected to the James Gunn DC universe, not the Zack Snyder DCEU. So if you've not checked this out yet, I would recommend checking it out. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a generic story, but it was still a decent movie. It was fun. And I think the actor that played Blue Beetle did a pretty good job. So I am curious to see if that rumor is true and that Blue Beetle will be incorporated to the DCU. But we'll have to wait and see. The next one, and I had to grab this on Blu-ray because I did not see the 4K anywhere, and that is Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Alright. Crisis on Infinite Earths, for those that are unfamiliar to the DC universe, back in the 80s they had so many different variations of all the characters to the point where it started to get confusing. So, back in the 80s, DC decided to reboot everything. Whereas now that's almost an annual thing. We're not going to get into that because that's comics and we're here to talk movies and shows. So, because of how grand the mini-series Crisis on Infinite Earths is, this is getting turned into a 3-part movie. That is also why the Arrowverse crossover was 5 episodes. Overall, first part's okay. It doesn't fully go into the comics. It's kind of a little bit of a precursor of what's to come. And finally, another thing I got from Big Lots. Again, definitely check your Big Lots for movies, snacks, stuff like that. You might find something you'll enjoy. I grabbed The New Adventures of Superman Seasons 2 and 3. Alright, as I showed earlier, Season 1 is in this box set. I was able to get the Season 2 and 3 set that concludes the animated 60s cartoon, $6. And again, with Big Lots, you get coupons. So keep that in mind. You might find some stuff. Alright, that is everything from the DC section of this haul video. We are now entering the final section, which is the Looney Tunes section. And we are continuing with what I picked up at Big Lots. In my Forgotten Haul video, I mentioned how I had to pick up Tiny Toons because I didn't have anything other than the movie. Well, after Tiny Toons went off the air, they had a spinoff, Animaniacs. Animaniacs had a spinoff of its own, Pinky and the Brain. Well, after Pinky and the Brain wrapped up its run, someone that works for Spielberg had the idea to combine some of the shows. So we ended up getting Pinky, Elmira, and the Brain. Alright, I like Tiny Toons. Pinky and the Brain is awesome. It is probably one of my favorite 90s cartoons. I actually like Pinky and the Brain more than Animaniacs and Tiny Toons. This show sucks. There's no way around it. Elmira is not a character that should be front and center for every single episode. It was overload and it was getting annoying. It's cool to be able to have the full Pinky and the Brain run and to complete everything I got as far as Tiny Toons goes, because University at the moment hasn't been given a physical release. But unless you're trying to complete a collection, pass on this. And for anyone wondering, I think I paid $5 or $6. Alright, throughout the 90s, between wanting to keep Looney Tunes alive and the success of Space Jam, we started seeing various cartoons with certain characters. And one of them was the Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. This is season 1. Unfortunately, it is also the only season on DVD. This season's pretty good. My overall thoughts on the show as a whole does vary for a couple of different reasons. But season 1's pretty good. And as weird as this is going to sound, you can definitely see where, when it goes to the mystery elements of the show, that the writers also took inspiration from Hitchcock. So, definitely one of the more unique things in the world of Looney Tunes. I think it's still on Max. I'm not sure. So, check it out if you get a chance. This next one is out of print, so good luck finding it. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of this show. But I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Come March, Warner Brothers is releasing Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Volume 3. And I kind of wanted to go ahead and get this to complete my Looney Tunes collection. Lunatics Unleashed Season 1. So this came out in the early 2000s when the superhero stuff was starting to get popular, and this was also when things were starting to get like cool and edgy. The problem with cool and edgy and Looney Tunes is that Looney Tunes is supposed to be comedy. And this is trying to be cool and edgy, but still connected to Looney Tunes. And it's just a weird thing. Like, I feel like if this were not part of the Looney Tunes world, I think I would have liked it a little bit more. It's not bad, but it's definitely one of the weirdest additions to the world of Looney Tunes. I do know you can buy it digitally on Amazon. If it is streaming anywhere, it's probably Max. And I got season 1 off of eBay because it's out of print, and that's pretty much the only place you can get it. These next 3 aren't exactly Looney Tunes, but they are Looney Tunes related, and if you have some of the Golden Collection and Platinum Collection sets, some of these are in those DVDs and Blu-rays as bonus features. I got these off of Movie Zing, I think is how it's pronounced. Moviezyng. They have a sale at the end of December, early January on Warner Archive titles. So I picked up the Tex Avery Screwball Collection. So this is all 3 sets. Unfortunately, they did stop after Volume 3 for whatever reason, and there's a couple of shorts that are not on Blu-ray. Overall, pretty cool to have. If you are a Looney Tunes fan, I would recommend getting these just because there's a lot of really fun stuff that Tex Avery did when he departed Schlesinger Studios for MGM. As far as the shorts go, I'm assuming they're on Max because even though MGM is now owned by Amazon, all these were released by Warner Brothers. Alright, a while back I showed off where I bought seasons 1 and 2 of Tasmania. So a while back on Amazon, I got Tasmania Season 3. The cartoon itself isn't bad. Like Lunatics Unleashed, it does feel a little weird when you look at some of the other stuff in the world of Looney Tunes. This one's not as weird as Lunatics Unleashed by any means. But it's pretty cool to have. They do still have 2 more seasons that haven't been given a physical release. I would really like for Warner Archive to at least finish it because it's only 2 more seasons. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, because right now I do not have a lot of faith in Warner Brothers. We are down to the last 2 because I'm looking at the timer now and I realize how long this video is. This one I want to pick up because unlike some of the other Looney Tunes single disc compilations, most of them are recycled shorts. This is one of the few that not only does it not have completely recycled shorts, but it is one of the few DVDs that features one of the spin-offs. And that is the Parodies collection. So there are, I want to say either 3 or 4 shorts that are pretty much new to disc on here. And it also has 1 episode of the Looney Tunes show, which was an episode in season 2. And if you're not familiar, season 2 of the Looney Tunes show is not available on DVD. So I wanted to go ahead and pick this up because, again, it does have some stuff that's exclusive to this disc. And finally, I am glad I now have this, but part of me kind of hates myself for how much I spent on this. Excluding box sets, because I think the most I've ever spent on a single thing was either the Friday the 13th Scream Factory set, Columbia Classics Volume 2, and the limited edition box set for the Adam West Batman series. Those are the 3 most expensive things I've ever bought in my movie collection. And this one single set is number 4. And I hate that I did it, but at the same time, I wanted the Blu-ray, and the person was willing to cut me a deal. Looney Tunes Platinum Collection Volume 2. For those that are unaware, Volume 1 and Volume 2 are out of print. Volume 3 you can still get in various websites. It's usually anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks. I managed to get a used copy for 15. But I wanted this one for a couple different reasons. 1, so I could have all 3 volumes on Blu-ray. 2, it does have some exclusives that are exclusive to this set. I still wish I did not spend the amount of money I spent on it. I don't normally do that, especially these days. I've been trying to be as bargain as I can. But I did it. And that is everything that I bought while I was on hiatus. So, before I do the outro and all that stuff, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, expect only 2, maybe 3 videos a week for the next little bit for a couple different reasons. One of the videos I am recording will be explaining why, on top of also explaining why I have not been recording a lot. I've got one movie review I promised someone that I would be uploading soon. I've got another haul video coming up of stuff that I have actually recently bought. I was trying to separate everything the best I could. And I had something really, really cool happen, and once I'm given the okay to announce it, I will. There will be a video for it. Hopefully, it lives up to expectations. For me, it was a cool thing, so I'm hoping to share it soon. And as always, if you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. You like what you see, leave a thumbs up. Comment down below. What was your favorite thing out of what I've picked up? Is there a website or store I did not mention that you would like me to mention as far as the stuff I've bought? And what have you picked up recently? But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and tune in next time.